Bateman's Rosey Nosey.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. Firstly, this. Say hello to little Dora, latest addition of the family. She terrorises Percy and Bob as well. And talk about a little dog, a big dog in a little body. Isn't that right, eh? And my job in IT has now gone. I am the chief piss and shit clearer upper. And you want to get down, don't you? Right, coming in. As you can imagine, the house is in chaos at the moment with her. She is absolutely mental. Really does terrorise Percy, believe it or not. I don't know where he is. He was getting battered today properly. He just doesn't know. He just looks at me with a confused look on his face, probably thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Anyway, I digress. We have got some of this stuff. Now, I got this today from Morrison's, and it is the Bateman's Brewery Rosey Nosey. Now, Bateman's are a brewery I really should investigate a little bit more. They're from Lincolnshire, in a place called Wainfleet. And their brewery is known as the Salem Bridge Brewery, and they've been going since 1874. Now, I know this is a Christmas ale, but this being November, early November, it's November the 8th today, I thought, fuck it, I'll be the first one to review a Christmas ale. Go me, look at me, being a first on BeerTube. I couldn't give a fuck about all that who's first and who reviews what first. You know, some people think it's a race and you just think, oh, fucking behave yourselves. Anyway, rant avoided. Now, there is one thing I'm going to promise you. I will not be buying any fucking Christmas IPA or any of that old bollocks. I will not be getting the House of Trembling Madness Christmas hamper like I did last year. Fucking hell, where's that year gone? That has gone really quick. Anyway, the beers that were in there were mainly shit. There was a couple of good ones, notably from the C84 Brewery, or the Great Yorkshire Brewery, whatever you want to call them. Their Christmas ale was really nice. Santa's Tipple, that was called. They had the inspired idea of putting star anise in there, which made it absolutely gorgeous. That was a really, really nice ale, and I'm hoping I'm going to put an order in to the House of Trembling Madness. I'm hoping they're going to have some more of that this year, because that is fucking brilliant. I love that beer. Really nice, and I highly recommend it. If you ever see it available, do get it, because it is good. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this stuff. Now, as I say, I have specific views on what a Christmas beer should be. What it shouldn't be is a fucking white IPA. Absolute fucking nonsense. But Christmas IPAs, that type of thing, it's just, there's no history of that whatsoever. There's no tradition. I'm just wondering what the fucking hell's poking in my head. And it's something that's been conjured up by some marketing twats. You know my views on people who are in marketing.
Hey, fuck off, fuck off.
No offence if you are and you're watching this, but for fuck's sake, we're not mugs. Anyway, rant avoided. This beer looks quite interesting. I'm quite impressed with the brew sheet, but I'm not going to discuss that here. I'll discuss that in the next section. But I do like my beers, Christmas beers I should say, to be dark, reasonably strong ABV, a good malty backbone to them with quite a lot of fruit on there and possibly a spicy finish. Very much in the style of old ale. Yes, I know I keep going on about old ale. It is my favourite style, and I think it is one of the best styles that this country does. And I will not stop ranting and raving about the style until everybody gets it into their heads that that is what we do best in this country. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. Anyway, I think I've said enough about this brewery. As you may or may not know, I've reviewed one of the beers on the channel before. I've reviewed the Bateman's Victory Ale. That was quite nice. I did enjoy that. The Triple XB, I think, is their flagship beer. I'm going to try and get hold of some of that. I was having a look on their website earlier. They do some really interesting beers, and they do one called a Vintage Ale. And I looked at it and I thought, wow, that looks amazing. It's an old barley wine recipe. And I remember looking at it and I'm thinking, right, they're going to charge the earth for this. It's a vintage ale. It's a 2014 vintage ale. So, you know, that's 8 years old. So I'm thinking, this is going to be good, but it's going to be expensive. And I looked at the price. It was £3.25. And I thought, I'm going to have some of that. And do you know what I'm going to do? I've already ordered it. I ordered a T-shirt off them as well. Really nice T-shirt, Skulls and Hammers. That's one of their IPAs. They do an American IPA. I've not got a bottle of that. I've just got the T-shirt. I did like the design on that. As you may or may not know, it's a skull and it's got 2 crossed hammers on it. What's not to like about 2 crossed hammers? Anyway, I'm going to do a comparison video. And in this video, I do know where the vintage ale is. It is right here. I'm going to do a comparison video with this stuff. This is the 2021 Fuller's Vintage Ale. Don't know whether you can see that or not, but oh, I got it round the wrong way, you fucking bellend. But I'm going to do a comparison with that, and I'm going to see which one is the best. Now, I'm going to say that the Fuller's on paper, just, you know, with all that experience. Well, I'm saying that. They're not too far. I mean, they're 1874, and Fuller's are 1845. So I was going to say it's not evenly matched, but I think it is. I think they're more or less around a similar sort of size. Probably Fuller's have got more pubs, but as for experience, there's not much in it. They're a family-run brewery as well. This lot, they haven't been taken over by anyone, and it's got, I wouldn't say a turbulent history, but during World War II, they had a lot of problems with staff, and they had to lay off. They had to lay off all their staff, and subsequently had to rehire them quite sharpish because they were worried about who was going to maintain the brewery and stuff like that. And they put them to work on the old windmill, which was derelict at the time. And subsequently, they renovated that, and it's become the logo of the brewery. And they went from strength to strength, and by 1948 they owned 68 pubs, I think, or something like that, or nearly around 70 pubs, which is no mean feat in 1948. They bought up a lot of derelict pubs which people thought were dead and buried and had no chance of doing any business, but they've turned them round, and I think they've still got them to this day. I'm not sure exactly where. I know they've got a couple of pubs in Skegness and in the Boston area. I think they've got about 23 in the Boston area. But there's a few pubs around Lincolnshire that they are. Well, there's 70, roughly 70. But their beer's available all over the country. And I think I may have had some of their beer before in a Wetherspoons at one of the beer festivals that they do. And I think I've also drank some of their beer at a beer festival. So, yeah, I mean, they're good at what they do. They do a nice range as well. Interesting fact, in the 1950s, their main output was mild. Mild was a very popular drink back then, and, you know, as I said in other videos, it all went to shit when unscrupulous landlords were putting slops and all the dregs of every other style of beer, throwing it into the mild, and basically made it undrinkable, and the style died out. If ever you see or hear of beer being watered down, usually back then it was the mild. They did some terrible things, them landlords, especially in London. And yeah, mild died a death. Thankfully it's coming back. I had a really nice mild last night, and for the life of me I can't remember what it was, but it was very nice, and it had an almost minty like tinge to it from the hops. And who the hell was it? And it's gone. It wasn't Wansome, it was a Kent brewery. Oh, Kent Brewery. That's who it was. You fucking idiot. My memory's getting worse. It was the Kent Brewery mild. If ever you come across that, if you're in the Kent area and that's available, check that out. I did also have some Budvar in this pub that I normally have Budvar in, and it tasted bad. It was really not good, and that was on keg as well. Had a burnt taste to it. Didn't like it at all. Unusual for them. Normally they do it quite well, but yeah, not impressed. Anyway, I'm rambling. let's get on to the next section. Right, Rosey Nosey special Christmas beer, bursting with rich, fruity sultana and raisin flavours. Perfect for me. 500ml bottle, 4.7%. I lie. I would like the ABV to have been a little bit higher, but there you go. Bateman's craft brewer since 1874. Our story is one of enterprise and innovation, always looking forward whilst remaining true to our family roots. After 4 generations of Bateman's is still fiercely independent. Honesty, creativity and gritty determination fuel our passion for our beers. This fabulously fruity beer is brewed with pale, crystal and chocolate malts. I'll go into all that in a sec. And it's hopped with English Challenger and Goldings. Perfect hops in my opinion. It has a rich aroma, a palette of raisins, sultanas, biscuit malt and spicy peppery hops. A rich, luscious and warming ale, ideal for winter. Now that to me describes winter warmers, old ale to a T. Fantastic, looks great. I am really looking forward to this. What else have we got? Drink responsibly. Yes, the chief medical officer can kiss my goddamn ass. This is the bullshit they come out with. Look, it's recommended adults do not regularly exceed more than 14 units per week. What the fuck's 14 units? Talk to me in pints and I may have an idea of what you're talking about. Units mean fuck all to me. But there you go. I'm sure some of the viewers are going to explain what units are. Honestly, I'm not bothered. I really ain't. Anyway, let's get it open. Let's see what's going on. Oh, before I do, I was just quickly going to go over the hops, wasn't I? As I say, there's 2 hops in here. There's the Challenger, which in my opinion are a perfect hop for these dark English beers. They're renowned for their spice and they do crop up quite a lot in English bitters. They give it that distinctive black pepper type bitterness on the arse end of them beers, and I'm hoping that's what it's going to have here. It does sound good. Goldings, that's where your fruit comes from. A lot of citrus, pear, orchard fruit, that type of thing. I do believe that was little Dora trying to scratch at the door. The characteristics of this and the malt are interesting too. Pale malt, that's your base malt. Though that's the bulk, that makes up the bulk of the malt bill. You also have Percy coming through the door. Well, Mr. Percy. Oh, and his little Bob. I think the pair of them are looking at this as a safe haven from Dora. What's going on, Percy? Come up here, mate. I'm talking malt. Oh, fucking hell. You're getting heavier and heavier, mate. He's just got a permanent look of confusion on his face. Get out of it, you. I know where that tongue's been. Why are you sitting like that, you idiot? Just sit there normally. What's wrong with you? Yeah, the 2 malts, the 2 other malts are Crystal Malt, one of my favourite malts, and you're genuinely guaranteed a good beer if you've got Crystal Malt in there. It does have a nice, sweet, it does give the beer a nice, sweet flavour, and it does also give it a bit of fruit in my opinion as well. Now most of it does come from the hops, but it does complement that fruit by giving it a nice sugary sweetness, because essentially that's what crystal malt is. It's crystallised sugar that has been produced by the malt to feed the little offshoots that are killed quite quickly in a kiln, and the sugar's left. It does give it a nice sweetness to it. And then you've got chocolate malt, which is a very nice malt indeed. And as the name would suggest, it gives it a bitterness as well, like a roasted type bitterness. Chocolate, obviously, and coffee. Coupled with crystal malt, it makes it really nice. So then 2, chocolate and crystal malt combined, very, very good choice. Now these sound like they know what they're doing. So let's get it open and see what's going on. Now, Mr. Percy, I cannot fucking open a bottle of beer with you in my hands. So you're going to have to sit down, mate, on ye oldie floor. Oh, fuck. He's getting heavier and heavier. I haven't taken him out for 2 days. It's been absolutely pissing down, and they do not like the rain, and they come in like drowned rats when I do take them for a walk. So they've been stuck in the house getting battered by a little Jack Russell, a female, no less. Who said feminism was dead? Not in the dog world, it ain't. Right, autofocus. Do your fucking thing. There you go. There's the windmill I was talking about, that the employees renovated. You want to go out, Bob, don't you? Right, let's get it into the glass. I'm not sure how clean this glass is. I had a couple of mishaps with the dishwasher. Right, let's get the aroma. Oh yeah, it's not clean at all. I do apologise for that. Aroma. Lovely. God, that is potent. That is real big fruit on that. Huge fruit. Now, if this is anything like the vintage ale, then it's going to be an absolute belter. That really has got that dark raisin and sultana aroma to it, very much in keeping with like a fruit cake or a Christmas cake, and they're the dominant things. It is quite malty. There's an almost like a digestive biscuit smell on that. If you can imagine a roasting digestive biscuit, it smells really nice. Some dark fruit on that, and as I say, there's raisin and plum, but there's also like very, very rich dried fruit, like I'm thinking damson and plum and sultana. You get the picture. Let's fill out a little bit more, just a little bit. Oh, the aromas are huge and really nice too. Oh, I'm really impressed with this. The aromas are amazing. So let's get a little bit more into the glass. And there it is. It's a dark amber, I would call that, very dark amber. Nice head on that too. Very very frothy and off-white. Right, let's see what it tastes like. Bottoms up. Oh, that is lovely. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, that is really nice. Get the rest of it in that glass. I'm just gonna have another sniff of this, because that really is a nice aroma. And there's pear. I'm getting pear in there as well. Quite distinct, and that again comes from the Goldings hops. They've got quite a lot of that apple, pear, orchard type fruit in the flavour, and that really does come through on the aroma as well. Oh, I'm really impressed with this. Let me dive in again. Oh, it's good. It's really good. That is really, really nice. There is huge fruit on this, and it's like Christmas cake with a hint of pear and banana, if you can imagine that. That's the fruit that's on there. The finish, you do get a little bit of spice. It's not big. It's mainly fruit all the way through. Very reminiscent of this Burton Strong Ale I've got behind me, reminiscent of the Fuller's 1845. It's in that kind of vein. However, the ABV isn't as big. The two I've just mentioned, they're around the 6% ABV. Obviously this is 4.7, and there's no trace of ethanol on this whatsoever. It's really nice, really, really drinkable. Quite full body too. But if you're into your dark English type beers, then this really is worth checking out. Now, Bateman's specialise in this kind of thing. The Victory Ale is quite similar, and that's a strong ale. That's a 6%er. And when I put that one up, people said to me, you have to try the Triple XB. And I think I've reviewed it on the channel. I can't remember. If I haven't, I'm going to get some. And they did do a like a hamper full of their beers, but to be honest, I want to save me money and get something from the House of Trembling Madness, because I want to get some Belgian beers, because I've been ignoring Belgian beers for a while on the channel, and it's not fair. I think I should balance it up a little bit. I've been doing quite a few German beers and quite a few English beers, or British beers I should say, and I've been ignoring the Belgian beers. I have got a Timmermans Old Goose, or Huza, however you want to pronounce it. I've got one of them in the fridge. I will be reviewing that very shortly. But for now, it's this stuff. And this stuff is very nice indeed. Oh, there is some spicy bitterness on that. And that is nice. Oh, it's good. Really good. It does remind me of a bitter, and I think the Challenger hops are what's doing that for me, because whenever I try a beer with Challenger, it does put me in mind of a bitter, because you do get a lot of the black pepper bitterness that you normally get on a good bitter. So I'm thinking, when I say good bitters, I'm thinking Timothy Taylor, Boltmaker, the Coniston Brewery Bluebird, I should say. They're the two that really spring to mind, that have got that lovely bitter, bold, hoppy, spicy bitterness that I like on a beer. And I imagine that's what has made bitter as popular as it was back in the 70s, 60s and 70s, by using that. Sadly, I wouldn't say they've fallen out of favour, but I think brewers do have a bit of a downer on calling their beers bitter now. I think amber ale is the accepted term, but for me, I can recognise a bitter straight away. And this is, as I say, it's very reminiscent of that, but this really is full of fruit. And when I say it's full of fruit, it's full of fruity flavours, and them fruity flavours are coming from them two hop varieties. Well, mainly from the Goldings, but the spiciness does complement them. There is a sweetness on the palate too that's coming from that crystal malt. And as I say, that does really complement the fruit. It does give it a sweet note, as you would expect from fruit. I'm really liking this. This is a damn good one. Lovely. Really nice. I'm going to have to get some of this for me mate, Norby. He will love this. And yeah, that is an absolute winner from Bateman's. What is the verdict on Rosey Nosey from Bateman's Brewery? Well, for me, that is a fantastic beer. It's everything a Christmas beer should be. Now, if you watched my Christmas beer reviews last year, most of them were fucking rants about poor quality beer. The amount of brewers that just didn't get what Christmas beer is all about. This is what it's about. Fuller's get it, Bateman's get it, and all them old traditional English brewers get it as well. Black Sheep, I've noticed that they've got a Christmas beer. To be honest, I avoided the Black Sheep Christmas beer. I didn't buy one of them, and I don't know what it is, but I just find Black Sheep beer a little bit average. Now I know I think they're sharing a brewery with, I think, Theakston's. I'm not sure. I think it's Theakston's. I know they were going through a bit of a hard time, and I think the reason they were going through a hard time is because their beer just wasn't that great. But I did see some of the Black Sheep Christmas beer in Morrison's. I should get that actually next time I'm there. I think I'm going to get some and review it. But I think this is going to take some beating, because this, for me, is a fantastic beer. It's ticking all the right boxes when it comes to a good Christmas beer. It's dark, tick. It's fruity, tick. There's a huge malty backbone on it. Tick. The ABV, well, maybe not as high. For a Christmas beer, a good Christmas beer, I would be looking at sort of 5.5 at least, and then anything up to sort of 7%. I think the Shepherd Neame Winter Ale, I think that's 7%. It's quite strong, and that's a really good one as well. I haven't seen that around at all, and I'm surprised because obviously I'm living in Kent. If you're going to see it anywhere, maybe it's too early, I don't know, but normally these Christmas beers come out in November, and I'm glad they do, because I really do enjoy these kind of Christmas beers, not fucking Christmas IPAs and shit like that. Oh, don't get me fucking started. But I like it, and I think this is a worthy 9 out of 10. Now, as I always say, these reviews are my personal opinion, but I do know what makes a good English beer, and this is it. Why haven't I given it a 10? I would say that it's potentially bordering on a 10, but I just think there are some better Christmas beers out there. As I say, the Sam Smith's, the Shepherd Neame, they do some great ones. The Winter Warmer and the Winter Ale. Sam Smith's, the Winter Warmer. Oh, Winter Welcome, I think it's called, not Winter Warmer. I think it's called Winter Welcome, that's it. I should try and get hold of that and re-review that, because I reviewed that 2 years ago, Christmas 2 years ago, and I just started reviewing beers. I think I started in 2019, and it was late 2019, and I did review quite a few of the Christmas beers. I did quite a few of the Belgian Christmas beers as well, and they were really good, so I should really try and get hold of them from, hopefully House of Trembling Madness have got some, and I'll review them as well. But I think this is a really solid English beer, Christmas beer. This is the kind of stuff that will go great with a roast dinner, or a Christmas dinner, whatever you want to call it. I really like this kind of thing, and it's got everything right on this. The hop choice, perfect. The malt choice, perfect. The characteristic of it, perfect in my opinion. It's just the ABV is just a little bit lower. I'd like something with a little bit more bite and kick to it, but it's still good, and I think that is a solid 9 out of 10. Well worth getting hold of. I know that they do this in Morrison's. If you're out and about in Lincolnshire, I'm sure you might. Well, I'm sure you might. Fucking idiot. I think you may be able to get this on cask in some of the pubs. If not, then certainly in the supermarkets as well around there, because Bateman's are a Lincolnshire brewer. So if you're around that neck of the woods, up in the east coast of the United Kingdom, the northeast coast, well, not too far up north, but yeah, it's I've got a mate lives up in Lincolnshire at the moment. What's his name? Paul. He's the best man at my wedding. He lives in a place called Spilsby. Apparently the back of beyond, he showed me photos of it, and it's deserted. It's like the middle of nowhere. Even the fucking rabbits give you the fucking evil eye if you're a stranger. But well worth checking out. I enjoyed that, and I'm going to buy some more of that coming up at Christmas, because that is a fucking winner. And remember, beer is working class champagne.